Hey everybody! Um, Today I'm going to cover the first bonus episode to my Applique basics tutorial. These next few demonstrations they're just covering other ways you can also applique shapes onto backgrounds. Now today's I'm covering fusible webbing. It's not a sewing kind. It is actually just a webbing that you iron between the patch and your background, and it glues the fabric, a type of bonding between them. It doesn't go well for heavy duty washing and that, so it's best for wall hangings and delicately washed. I use it sometimes for certain kinds of projects, and what I'll do is once the patches are on, I'll wait until the layers of the top and batting and backing are together, and then I'll do a blanket stitch around all the edges, and that is twofold. One, it secures the edges of the patches better, and second, it works as a quilting stitch, so it brings out the depth, and I'll show you that too. Okay, so to start, you can, there's different brands. You have to follow the specific instructions of the brand you buy. But they all have a kind of see-throughness to them, so you don't need the cardboard patch to trace on top. You can actually put the pattern behind and up to a light source and trace, if that is a better version for you. If you are tracing a template, you need to remember with this method, your template is going to be opposite of how the finished picture will look, because it's going to, you're actually drawing the shape of the back of the fabric, so when it flips, it's going to be the opposite. Now with the heart, that doesn't matter. It's the same both ways. So for this one, I'm going to use our heart again. It's such a good shape. And just trace it onto the webbing. And then with paper scissors, I don't like to use fabric scissors for this if I can help it. I usually have paper scissors around. You rough cut, so you don't cut on the line, but you cut a little over, just so you're fusing less to the fabric. Well, actually at the moment we're not fusing at all. Okay, so once that's done, you fuse it to the back of your fabric. Now in my case, I don't need to actually fuse. This is a gummy version that will stick there just because I put it there. And that's one nice thing about this particular brand, because you can move it if you need to. Oops, I'm gonna straighten that up a little bit, even though this is just a demonstration. Okay, so assuming you have a different brand and you go to the iron and the ironing board and fuse it the way they instruct you to do that to the back of your fabric, then once you're there, and as you notice mine is sticking, you again with not good fabric scissors, you cut out the patch right on the line up that you've drawn. I'm on camera, yes. These scissors have cut a lot of things that have dulled it, and I should probably get a different pair. Now, Once you've got it cut out on multiples, you can do pictures of, you know, multiple different patches and everything. What you do is you take your backing off and you put it on your background where you want it aligned. So that depends on your pattern completely. Now, I'm going to go off camera and fuse this down so it can't be removed. And then I'm going to show you how I do that blanket stitching as the quilting. All right, I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I should have said, or I'll say it now, if you have multiple patches on your applique and you're arranging them on your background, they can get fiddly and hard to deal with sometimes. And tweezers are very helpful for that. So I meant to say that. Okay, we're going to pretend this is for the... I wait until the quilt top and batting and backing are all basted together before I normally do this. So I'm just going to, again, do this as a demonstration. So I have my batting and my backing and my top. A very mini top. All right, and, you know, normally I would have basting thread and all of that, but not required for this little demo. All right. Now, I like to use 2 strands of embroidery floss for this. It's, and I usually use it in the same color as the patch, but you could also, say, do it in black so that it stands out, or a white, or another color. It all depends on how you want the design to look. So, as in a quilt, you run the needle through and then pull the knot. But since I don't have to do that here because it's a little patch, I'm not going to. I'm going to, and this is the fun part of when you have quilting close to the edge, you can just come in the side. Oh, sorry, I might have gone off camera there. All right, now my knot is between the batting and the backing. You can feel it there, but it doesn't show. And now I'm going to do the blanket stitch as an edging around this raw edge that's fused, but also it'll turn into quilting because of the 3 layers. So on the corners, points. My personal rule of thumb for blanket stitch is just for evenness, but again, blanket stitch can be longer, shorter, whatever you again want the design to be. But my general personal rule is however tall I make it, that's the space between stitches. And for me, it's usually about 1/8 of an inch. Now for this, I do like to use a thimble. I forgot. Just because I'm pushing through 3 layers here. So for those who don't know blanket stitch, I'm going in the 3 layers, then I'm coming out, it's not quite the spot I want there, then I'm coming out right where the patch and the background meet, right at the edge. And I'm leaving the thread under the needle, so when I pull it through, that loop gets caught, and it makes, you can see here that it gives it a sort of a bottom, or a bottom edge, and that sits along the edge of that raw patch, and that also is helpful to the patch. All right, I don't think I need to continue to show you how to do that. What I did need to show you, though, is so that you can see how that makes it, if you picture that all the way around, that gives it a texture and a depth, and is a great version of quilting it. Now you don't need to quilt beside it. This is your quilting. So that's one of the fun things about using it to frame your patches. Okay, that's it for this time. Like I said, have a few more bonus episodes eventually soon. Thanks for watching.